Hey guys, I'm James, Master Instructor of the Dean King Training Institute, and with me I've got 3 guys that just finished our 160-hour PDR class, right?
Yep.
Now I've got Jordan and Trevor here that are heading back to South Dakota / Minneapolis / that's it, all the slashes, right?
All the slashes.
And Chris, you returned to us. Where did you come in from?
Michigan.
So Chris now came back to us after coming through the first time for 2 weeks, went back to his dealership, and got sent back out here to us, right?
Yep.
So in between that time now of you heading back and, and practicing on some dents and kind of some dents just thrown and forced on you, and, got thrown in the woods, how was your experience, one, the first time, and two, now that you've been here the second time?
Oh, the first time I was pretty nervous, not knowing what to expect. Never had any prior knowledge in PDR. I'd say first week I felt kind of defeated. Second week by the end I had more confidence, finding the dents and trying to move the metal and whatnot. So I think going back to work was good. I probably picked about 40, 50 dents in between the 6 weeks I was gone. And so coming back, I feel fully confident, and definitely tell my skill level is increasing the more and more I, practice.
And I know we put you on a nice small ding where half the quarter panel was caved in, and had you working on that for a while, for a few man hours, and with that, that was a very difficult dent, and that's something I know that you said that if you were to get that at the dealership, chances are they'd probably paint that, right? Or
absolutely.
To the body shop.
Absolutely, I would have pushed it into repair all day.
After working on something like that, I know those portions where you got frustrated. Obviously, it's hard to not get frustrated on something like that, right? Was there any point that you wanted to did it totally defeat you, or was it something that you knew, hey, okay, I'm going to learn something from this, I'm going to keep going with it, or how did you feel, while you're working on it?
At first I was really nervous.
Yeah.
Kind of working through my head on the process, what I need to do to repair the dents. Yeah, by the time I was a full day into it, I was getting pretty depleted, I would say, discouraged, but trying to stay motivated, knowing that as I'm watching the dent and I'm working it, I am finding it getting back to the memory that it was at. So it was kind of going back and forth with emotions of confidence and then knots, and then seeing it form and shape and say, all right, well, I just keep working at it, staying focused, and it turns out.
Good.
Yeah.
Now, just for the sake of, I guess, more so humor for myself, and I'll explain the reason for this later, but how big would you say that dent was? A dime, quarter size, nickel size?
I would say that dent was about the size of my head.
Okay.
A good, and maybe
pretty decent sized dent.
5 inches deep, maybe. It was.
And I ask that because a lot of people that don't know much about dinking and just go off of what forums say or what somebody else says, a lot of times they're saying that we only give you guys dime, nickel, and quarter size dents, and that's it. Like, we never show big stuff, we never show body lines, we never show glue pulling. You don't work on a real car, and which it's not true. You guys see that when you come here.
Yeah.
You know that, and just again, for everybody who watches these videos, we do give some large dents. We do work on some of these dents here, and we punch the panels and we kick the panels, and we put our feet into them and hit them with our knuckles and beat these cars in. And there are things that you guys are working on, some larger dents. Now, for you guys came through. You started a month ago. Both of you have been in car sales. I know, Jordan, for you, you've been in car sales and management and in different areas of the actual dealership world. How has your experience been, number one, and two, how is it being on this side now and seeing it here on this side?
I would say it's after going through the school, my eyes have widened a lot when it comes to what paintless dent repair is. When you're on the sales side, the managerial side, you see your paintless dent technician come in, appears like he's not doing a heck of a lot, and then some dents come out, and then you're writing big checks to the gentleman that was there for 6 hours or 5 hours or whatever it may be. So coming into it, I definitely had a little bit of a misconception on necessarily how easy it would be. I know it's a skill and it's something that you need to practice with, but going through the school, it's definitely something that's opened up my eyes a lot, and knowing that's just a craft. And so yeah, quite a bit different than what I was anticipating, but with the schooling and and everything along those lines, and knowing cars in general. I think the transition is good. So.
Good. What about for you?
I guess kind of the same. I would try to, on the sales part, like if a car came in with a dent, it's just like, oh, like will just be an easy fix. Like, shouldn't even be that big of a deal. But yeah, it's definitely a lot tougher and takes a lot more into it. Reading the light, finding your tip, just everything that goes into it. It's definitely a little bit tougher, but I feel like we definitely got a good understanding of it with these 4 weeks and getting a couple other services to bring back with us, and we'll be just fine.
Now, this question here for all three of you guys, and anyone can answer it, or all of you guys answer this, but coming into this, not knowing not knowing really much about PDR, none of you guys really had any experience with PDR, right? You've heard about it, you kind of ran in and around it and seen it, but all three of you guys kind of just thrown into it. Did you have the expectation of mastering it after 4 weeks? Did you come into that expectation, or was that told to you, you're going to master this?
I pretty much knew from the guy I kind of watched at our dealership. He's been doing it 10 years, and I kind of knew it's a process. I've been in the car industry, painted my first car when I was 16, doing body work, and I still find myself learning stuff every time.
Yeah.
I'm working on a car, different metal, whatever the case may be. So I kind of knew it was something that's just going to take more practice, and maybe every dent you get a little better and better every time.
What about for you guys? Did you guys have like an idea or think that you were going to master this in a month?
Well, I mean, at the very bare minimum, and without talking with Mike or anyone from the admissions or really checking out the website, I was thinking maybe 70%-ish, somewhere in there from the schooling. And then I was seeing that there was 1 month, 2 month, 3 month courses and things of that nature. And knowing that we're only going to bite off 4 weeks, and there's 3 months plus courses, I was like, well, I'm going to bring my expectations down a little bit. But the level in which the dent sizes that we've worked on and the different areas that we've worked on, I think my expectation at the beginning is a lot closer to what it ended up being, because you guys did a good job with that. He ended up working, on some, basketball, basically like a basketball size a dent. We didn't quite make it that far, but I mean, we're working with 3, 4 inch, 5 inch creases, and dents that are $50 plus, and things that are very real world, body lines and things of that nature. So I think at least for a foundation and going out and getting an account, or even tackling what most people think a paintless dent repair should be, I think we can do that. Because I don't think too many people think basketball is coming out through paintless dent repair. They're going to auto body shops, but your door dings, grocery carts, and things like that. It's definitely
What they think until a technician tells them otherwise and says,
Yes.
no, I can take that out too.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, yep. Personally, I wouldn't have thought that the one that he tackled, that was the size of a basketball, it would have been coming out. But yeah. So expectations changed quite a bit. Didn't realize how big you can go. So my initial thoughts on what a dent meant and what we've accomplished in 4 weeks is pretty much coincides together. The mastery part, I mean, you're not even in the same world as a master, knowing that's an art and things like that. But we can get it to look pretty good.
See, and it's different because you came from that side of that, the wholesale with the dealership, and so you're basing it off of what your dealership would pay your dent guy to do, and he had his limits of what he did, and that was it.
Yep.
And
He would turn stuff down if it was
exactly.
too big.
So you were assuming that maybe this stuff can't be done, and then you see it firsthand. It's like, oh, okay, never mind then. Maybe we can do this stuff. So it changes things. And I like hearing you guys' opinion on that because or your answer on that, because of the fact that nowadays with social media and all these forums and stuff, you see that a lot of guys would knock the training and the course time and so on, and say, oh, there's no way you can master it in 2 weeks. There's no way you can master it in 4 weeks. You're telling everybody this. It's like, well, we really don't. Our realistic expectations, I think, are set with these customers beforehand, and we let them know you're not going to master it. You're building a good, solid base foundation. We're going through several types of dents. You're working on, as many scenarios as possible. We're working on real cars. Our cars aren't, our panels aren't set up on some little fixed dummy stand where a door's there and a fixed dummy stand where a hood's there and a fixed, no, we're doing actual real cars. We're kicking them in, we're beating them, we're hitting them with softballs, we're dropping elbows off the top rope, off the ladders and so on. And we're beating these cars up and guys are repairing them, Are we going to cover each and every single dent scenario that you that are ever going to encounter? Probably not, because you're going to each have different paths, and you're each going to have different customers and so on, and what your customers require you to do. So there's no way possible to do that, right? But we try to have a good base, solid foundation of what paintless dent repair is, how it's done, and what you need to do to proceed to get to the next level, and so on. And as long as we've done that and you guys feel satisfied with it, then we've done our job, you know. Now, what would you say would if you had to go back now and give your guys' self on your first Monday morning, right before you start, and you talk to yourself and you say, hey, this is my one piece of advice I'm going to give you while you're here. What would you tell yourself Monday morning?
Probably slow yourself down. The dent's not just gonna go away after like 2 pushes. You're gonna have to do a lot of pushes close together. So probably slow down.
Slow yourself down. What about you?
I'd probably try to get rid of the preconceived notion of ease of repair. Like I said, I've seen tons of dents removed, probably 100 plus dents at least when I'd walk up to our paintless dent guy and talk to him, and he's with his tool back there repairing them and things of that nature. And you know, to be fair, when he's done it for 15 years, it looked pretty easy. So when coming into it, not to get frustrated. Especially the first day, even Trevor here was kind of skunking me when it came to the light reading to get the tip exactly where you needed it and things like that. I was, 50% slower at least on the very first exercise. I was like, oh crap, this is kicking me right in the shin here. This is not fun. But just being okay with that. I think that's the main thing, saying, hey, once you get it, and you get it. And it really does. There's certain aspects of this that just kind of clicks. It's like, now I can see my tool, and I can find it really quickly, and which will eventually help speed and quality and things like that. But yeah, slowing down a little bit, get rid of that preconceived notion, and don't get frustrated really quickly. It does take patience and some thought there.
Yeah.
What about you, Chris?
Yeah, I'd probably say, come in with an open mind, what you think you might know or how you perceive picking dents. I had a buddy, he was like, oh yeah, when you come back, I can show you this and this and this I watched from TV and stuff. So I would just say maybe forget what you think you know, come in with an open mind, soak up as much energy as you can, listen to what the teachers say, how they approach things. Every guy will be a little different, and you try to pick up those little knowledge nuggets from each instructor and try to, build on your own skill from those guys.
Good. Those are all good pieces of advice. Well, we thank you guys for coming to Ding King. Thank you, obviously, for you two guys selecting Ding King. I know you were sent out from your dealership, and we hope for the best for you guys in your future business ventures with PDR and the other systems you guys, I know we didn't even touch on them, but windshield and headlight also. We asked you guys, obviously, stay in contact with us. We want to hear the progress. We want to hear the good and the bad. We want to hear the success stories and see the before and afters and all of that stuff. So again, keep in touch with us. For you guys out there, if you guys have any questions, you guys can always reach out to us. Give us a call, 1-800-304-3464. You can look us up on the web at thedingking.com. You can head on over to Facebook and look us up on the Ding King Training Institute or Instagram, official Ding King. Or if you have any questions, drop us a line here and make a comment on this YouTube video. And again, thank you to you guys who have been following us for a while, for as long as you guys have. And we ask that you guys just continue to share, continue to like our videos. And I think from us, we're all through here. We got nothing else to say. Shaq, Kobe, you guys got anything to say? No, I think we're good. Well, thank you guys again for watching, and we'll be checking in with you guys soon.